blows your mind.
The following is a presentation of WGAA Sports.
To the wall it is. It's gone! It's gone! He hit it on the center field fence.
Way back. You can put a stamp on that one and put it to the post office. It's gone.
Cedartown wins the region championship. Cedartown Bulldogs, the third region championship in a row.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A, 106.1 FM and AM 1340. Broadcasting online at WGAAradio.com and Facebook Live. And now, let's head down to the field for today's action.
And welcome in, baseball fans. Cedartown High School baseball here on this Saturday afternoon from Southeast Whitfield High School. The Bulldogs taking on the Raiders, and they are already up 1-0 as Tony Ware grounds one to the shortstop, and he is out for out number 2. To catch you up, we're a little bit behind just because they started this one early. If you're looking at your clocks, you're right. We're about 20 minutes early on the start time, but that is okay. The Bulldogs lead 1-0. X Holiday would start things off with a single to the right side. X would then advance to second base. With a stolen base on a wild pitch, X would go to third, and then on a fielder's choice, Ace Allen would drive in X Holiday, and the Dogs have a 1-0 lead as Samuel Formby comes to the plate with the bases empty and 2 outs and takes a swinging strike one. Today for your play-by-play, it's Andrew Carter, Sam Branch here for the color commentary. Saturday afternoon baseball. It is a beautiful day here in Dalton, Georgia. That one is lifted to the left side, and that one's going to be a tough play over to the left side, and it will be the shortstop off of his glove, and Samuel Forby is going to head into second base, and he is safe. So the Dogs keeping things going thanks to the bat of Samuel Formby. Cedartown already out to a 1-0 lead. The Dogs coming in, of course, picking up a win against the Raiders on Monday by a final score of 10-0. Cedartown looking to pick up another region win here this afternoon. The Dogs, it's a little bit interesting. Cedartown was supposed to play a doubleheader on Wednesday. I think they had thought about playing this game yesterday as Dalen Holiday comes to the plate. That's a wild pitch. It's going to get past the catcher, and Formby is going to be in at third. MacArthur couldn't put a stop on it. And so Formby will reach third. Andrew, I feel like they were going to play this game yesterday, maybe some talks about it, then they moved it to today, and now we're playing one game today, and we're going to play the second game of the doubleheader, the third game of the series on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a lot of confusion. First, here's the pitch, and it's outside for ball 2-0 to count now to the batter, Dalen Holiday. And I guess it depends on who you ask, but some folks not happy about the way things worked out, but whatever. I'm glad we're just playing baseball. There's a ground ball to second base picked up there. The throw over to first in time to retire the side. But Cedartown does get a run in the top of the first inning. We're going to keep it right here so we can catch you further up on all the action. Sam Branch has the Cedartown starting lineup.
As we mentioned, X Holiday led things off. He had that single and would come around to score. He's going to get the start at shortstop today. It'll be Ace Allen playing third base and batting second. In the number 3 spot will be Tony Ware playing his normal position out in center field. Samuel Formby will bat in the cleanup spot and get the start over in right field. Dalen Holiday, the designated hitter, will bat in the 5 spot. In the 6th spot, it'll be Caleb Formby who will get the start at second base today. Cole Dingler is going to get the start at first. The senior for the Dogs will bat in the number 7 spot. Gavin Allred will be behind the plate. The Bulldog backstop today, batting in the 8th hole, and then Jack Roper in his typical 9th spot playing left field. Jay O'Neill, Andrew Carter, is going to get the start today.
Excited about that.
I am too. O'Neill has had some appearances earlier in the season. He did get the start in one of the games in the battle for Bartow. He got a start earlier in the season as well. So I believe, if memory serves me correctly, this will be O'Neill's 3rd, maybe 4th start. But he's had more appearances than that, but this will be at least his 3rd start on the mound for the Dogs, still coming off of that Tommy John surgery, still recovering from that and doing some rehab and trying to figure things out.
Yeah, the starts have been few for him, but each time he's been out there, he's looked a lot sharper. And one thing he's been wanting to do is getting that movement back on his fastball. And I think once he's able to do that, he's going to be a pretty tough guy to get to get any kind of a hit on or anything like that. The Raiders will get to their lineup here as we go. We don't have of course, we are very fortunate that we're even able to get on at all. Of course, starting things a little bit early here today, which forced us to get things set up a little bit quicker than we normally would.
It'll be Hampton that will lead things off. He is the center fielder. First pitch started right at 3:44. Game time temperature here in Dalton, Georgia, 75 degrees. A beautiful day. The first pitch on the way from O'Neill to Hampton.
And it's a strike called, 0-1.
It'll be Hampton Couch to start things off for the Raiders here in the top of the first, followed by the starting pitcher, who will round things out. So Hampton behind in the count. No balls, 1 strike against the Bulldogs, Jay O'Neill.
And the pitch is a swing and a miss, way late on the heat there. 0-2 now the count.
Defensively, of course, for the Dogs, it's very much what we expect. Roper, Ware, and Formby from left to right in the outfield.
Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Took something off of that one.
On the infield, Allen, Holiday, Formby, Dingler from third to first. And, of course, Gavin Allred behind the plate, as we mentioned earlier.
1-2, swung and missed, strike 3. He's down on strikes for out number 1. Hampton retired. That'll bring up for the Raiders, Couch, the first baseman.
A quick out for Jay O'Neill, and that's what we want to see for O'Neill. He has struggled some in his starts earlier in this season, so we'd love to see him have a good start here.
Right down the middle for a called strike from O'Neill, 0-1.
Even though this is a Saturday afternoon game, Andrew, this is a huge region contest for the Dogs.
0-1 misses away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cedartown really battling for that second place position. You and I were talking about it on the drive up. That is the fight that the Dogs find themselves in.
1-1 pitch is a ground ball foul right there in front of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But yeah, you're right, Sam. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion now that Heritage is going to win the region this year. But Cedartown's got a good shot of overtaking Northwest for that second place spot. There's a little tapper weakly toward third base, picked up by Allen, throws to first, got him for out number 2. A good play there by Allen, and had plenty of time to get the runner in a good play.
And I'll tell you, another good play also is going to be the unsung part of that play, which is a lot what you see in baseball. Your attention immediately goes to who fields that and who throws over to first. But a good play there by X Holiday, the shortstop, who was charging in on that as well, to just give way to Allen, understanding that Ace is going to have the better play on that from his spot over at third base. So 2 up, 2 down for the Dogs here at the bottom of the first.
Here's C, and C fouls it away to the right side. 0-1 the count.
C, the starting pitcher for the Raiders today. And he's already down 1 run as the Dogs lead 1-0.
Down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Look, taking a look at this infield grass, it looks very thick. I mean, it's almost
very
like carpet.
Thick. That is one thing that I noticed as soon as we got here. You are right about that.
The line, the 1-1. Called strike 2, outside corner.
It's also another breezy day here today. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. Of course, we saw winds up in the 20 and 30 mile an hour gusts yesterday. Not as bad today, but still breezy.
Strike 3 called on the 1-2 pitch, and that'll retire the side. A very quick bottom half of the first here for the Bulldogs. And as we head to the second, Cedartown leads 1-0 over the Raiders. We'll come back after this timeout, a 60-second break on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Cedartown Automotive is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. For oil changes, new tires, or tire repair, brake work, tune-ups, air conditioner service, or repair, think of Cedartown Automotive. Cedartown Automotive is a longtime supporter of Cedartown High School athletics here on WGAA. Cedartown Automotive on East Avenue in Cedartown. Give them a call today at 770-749-5040 or stop by their beautiful location for fast and friendly service. And all the folks at Cedartown Automotive say, go Dogs!
Looking for a good used vehicle? Don't go out of town. Come see the folks at Dingler Motor Company, 526 North Main Street. Bad credit, no problem. Dingler Motor Company can get you back on the road in no time with their in-house financing. Top quality pre-owned late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stop by and check out their wide selection at 526 North Main Street across from Livewire Surplus. Call them at 770-748-0906. Search them on Facebook at Dingler Motor Co. That's Dingler Motor Company.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
6, 7, 8 due up for the Dogs. Caleb Formby, Cole Dingler, Gavin Allred. Cedartown, for those of you listening on radio, they are in their black tops with the red strip Cedartown across the front, red numbers outlined in white, gray pants. They are wearing their red caps with the white C and the black Beale Southeast wearing their black uniforms with white pinstripes. Raiders in block letters in white across the front and white numbers. 1-0, the Dogs lead here as we go to the top of the second inning. Saturday afternoon, high school baseball here on the Big Double A. The second baseman, Caleb Formby, will come to the plate for the first time this afternoon.
Ready to go here. First pitch to him is going to miss low for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Cedartown with a 1-0 lead here early. Dogs able to get some leadoff runners in. There's one down the middle but up. It's 2-0.
The Dogs were about 15 minutes early starting. The Braves, however, will start in about 15 minutes. 4:10 first pitch for them in Miami.
Bounces up there.
Terrible news out of Atlanta earlier today. Spencer Strider done.
Terrible,
for
but not
the
unexpected.
Season. Not unexpected. I was actually at the game Friday night where he had that elbow injury. He underwent surgery, and he is done for the season.
There's a strike call, 3-1 the count. Like I said, I mean, when they said they were going to announce news this weekend, I was like, okay, he's either
We
already had
know
the
what it
surgery
is, yep.
or he's about to. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Hey, sit on. Stay back.
A big sports weekend this weekend. Of course, this is Masters weekend. Moving day in Augusta. Almost everybody is already.
3-2 pitch misses just in. Ball 4. That'll be a leadoff walk for the Bulldogs here in the top of the second.
Actually, everybody is on the course right now. Scotty Scheffler, the 2021 champion, has the lead right now at 7 under par through 6 innings. Max Homa at 6 under.
You said 6 innings,
6 innings,
rounds.
six holes.
6 holes,
Goodness.
yeah.
Mixing the two.
Wrong sport.
Bryson DeChambeau started off the day tied for the lead. He is 2 back at 5 under through 4.
C delivers. Called strike. Throw goes down to second base. It was a good throw, and I think they got him, and they did.
MacArthur delivered a strike down to second base, and Lay, the shortstop, was over to make a good play there. Formby got a good jump, had a good run, but just not in time, and that will be the first out of the inning. Tiger Woods made his 24th consecutive Masters cut.
Pitch on the way. Bounced up there, 1 ball, 1 strike. I think that's one of the most incredible stories sports-wise you're going to hear for a while. You know, Tiger Woods, I mean, he's definitely not the Tiger Woods he was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. But just to know that he has made that swing and a miss, it's 1-2 now on Dingler. Knowing that he's made the cut that many years in a row is really something spectacular.
He broke a record previously held by Fred Couples and Gary Player
1-2.
at
Low and
23
in.
consecutive cuts. So with this cut, Tiger Woods now holds the record for the most consecutive cuts there at Augusta. Some of my favorites have missed the cut, including, of course, the Georgia Bulldog Bubba Watson, former Master champion, as that one is in the dirt. Bubba missing the cut. Watson is a 2-time Masters champion. He has made the move over to the Live Golf Tournament, so there's a lot of folks that are PGA purists that are glad to see Watson missing the cut.
3-2 is served to the left side, down for a base hit. So good job there by Dingler to reach out there and slap it there. It wasn't terribly hard hit, but enough to get over the head of the infielders and in the outfield. And the Dogs have a 1-out single, and Dingler will be there at first base as Gavin Allred, the catcher, will have a at-bat here in the top of the second. 1-0 lead for the Bulldogs. But going back to what you were saying about the LIV or LIV or whatever you want to call it, to me, I don't really care if they're PGA or LIV, whatever.
Well,
it's like NFL, AFL. Breaking ball is upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes.
And money talks.
It does.
And that is something that we absolutely know, and we're seeing that not just in professional sports, but now we're also, of course, due to NIL, we're seeing that in the college ranks and even moving down into the high school ranks to throw over to first base. And Cole is back safely, but it has been a source of contention. Greg Norman led that charge really for the LIV tournament, the Saudi-backed tournament. Greg Norman, a patron.
That ball is hit in the air, a high fly ball to the left side, should be playable.
No,
No, it's not. I don't know if it got caught up in the wind. It drops, and everybody's going to be safe.
Honestly, the way that the left fielder Johnson stopped, I think he thought Hampton, the center fielder, was going to keep coming and make that play, and Johnson kind of put on the brakes, and that caused some confusion out in the outfield.
And I'm not sure, it's definitely not a time of day. I mean, you can easily see the ball against the blue sky. I mean,
and the wind is is blowing, but I don't think enough to affect
and
that
I think
one.
it was just miscommunication on the part of the outfielders there, and that'll mean the Dogs will have the bottom of the order coming up, and Jack Roper, the ninth man to bat here in the lineup. Dogs have 4 hits on the ball game so far.
Of course,
and 1 run.
as soon as I say the wind's not blowing that bad, Andrew, the wind gusts in from left to right.
Pitch on the way to Jack, takes low, ball 1 ball, no strikes. Wind really has been blowing hard since all week long, really.
It really has, especially Thursday and Friday, and continuing into today, into Saturday afternoon.
Runners with their leads away from first and second, and a swing and a miss on a ball that broke down. 1 ball and 1 strike. I know the folks at the Masters know all about that win. And speaking of that, if it's as beautiful over there in Augusta as it is here right now,
they are
enjoying
it. They absolutely are. With the $1.50 pimento cheese sandwiches, as the catcher steps off.
You can't get it.
Bubba,
you can't get $1.50 anything.
No,
anywhere.
you cannot. Bubba is not the only, though, former Masters champion missing the cut. First the pitch, that one's in the dirt again. Jordan Spieth has missed the cut. Dustin Johnson missed the cut. Sergio Garcia missing the cut. All of those guys.
Phil's in the weekend.
Phil is there.
Okay.
Phil is there. Phil is also a big part of that Live Tournament tour, and he has made the cut and going to play for the weekend.
Here's the 2-1. That's hit up the middle to the shortstop. He'll feed over to second for 1. They'll go to first, not in time. It gets away, and that's going to score a run from third base. Here comes Dingler, throw to the plate, safe.
Good heads-up play there by Cole Dingler to stay attentive and to keep the motors running, and he is there safely, and the Dogs now have a 2-0 lead. And with that, we are back to the top of the order, and X Holiday, who would get the Dogs' first hit of the game, would also come around and score the first run for Cedartown. So a 2-0 lead over the Southeast Whitfield Raiders here in Game 2 of the series. This was supposed to be Game 1 of the doubleheader, but that has been split up due to weather.
Off-speed pitch was called a strike, but I'm not so
questionable. We got to be careful, though. We are right behind the home plate umpire here. Andrew can call balls and strikes just as well as he can from our vantage point.
0-1 to X, foul tipped, and the count goes to 0-2.
This is a situation, I think, where the Dogs are really going to show just what they're made of. They're in a spot where they've already won 1 game against this Raiders team, but they know really and truly they need to sweep this team.
X will pop one up the left side. Could be a tough play. Third baseman off his glove, and everybody's going to be safe. Now, that was probably just an error over there at third base, but let me tell you something. The wind really gusted up when that ball was in the air.
I will tell you that I feel like the wind affected that one more than it did the ball that was hit to left field, and Williams just had a difficult time playing it over there at third base. So Jack Roper will be at second. X will reach safely. He's at first base, and it's going to be Ace Allen, who is 0 for 1, grounded into the fielder's choice. He's got an RBI, the only Bulldogs RBI on the afternoon.
Pitch to double alt is high and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
But Cedartown enters this game, and you know, sometimes these games can be tough, Andrew, because you come into a team that has not won a region contest all year, and you may just want to put autopilot on.
Swing and a miss. Fooled him on that one. It's 1-1.
But sometimes when you put autopilot on and you play a team like this, that's when things can come around to actually bite you and hurt you worse than you would be with a team that you know is a good team that you have to be on your A game for.
Well, the Atlanta Braves were good at that in the 2000s against teams like the Expos and the Marlins. That's a bouncer. Runner goes for third. Runner goes for second as well. It's a double steal on the pitch in the dirt. It's 2-1 the count. The runner from second was going on the pitch, and then when the ball was bounced up there,
X played that extremely well. He went as well, so the runners have moved over, and it's going to be Jack Roper at third and X Holiday over at second base. Ace Allen still at the plate, ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And the 2-1 gets between his legs, and we'll have a runner safe at the plate, and the Dogs will lead it 3-0 as coming around to score for the Bulldogs. And it's 3-0 Cedartown here, and a runner up to third is Holiday. And the count now 3-1.
And the wind
double
really
off.
starting to whip here this afternoon here at Dalton. Speaking of the Marlins, the Braves picked up a win last night against Miami.
3-1 pitch is tapped foul, and it's a full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
They're right at 7 minutes away from Game 2 against the Fish. And a good start for Max Freed last night.
He needed a good start.
He's had some difficulty early in this season, and it's good to see him rebound and have a really good start against Miami last night. Jay O'Neill also out to a good start for the Dogs here. Of course, it's been a long time since we've seen him.
3-2 pitch bounces up there for ball 4. Runners will be at first and third.
This has been a pretty long inning for the Dogs.
There are 1 out or 2 out?
I'm showing
just 1 out.
I'm showing 2 out on Game
2
Changer.
out. Okay, so there's 2 out.
So that'll bring up Tony Ware, who is 0 for 1. Ware comes to the plate with runners on the corners and Ace Allen at first and X Holiday over at third. A good opportunity here for the Dogs center fielder to pick up an RBI and extend this 3-0 lead for Cedartown.
Pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. You're talking about, Sam, how you can overlook a team sometime. It must have been a couple of years ago when we were here at this very field playing Southeast. Southeast came back within 1 run late. The Dogs were up big, and we allowed them to come back. You may have been here for that game. I'm not sure.
I have not. I've never called a baseball game here.
Breaking ball called, strike inside corner, 1-1 the count. The Dogs almost lost that game, and it was a crucial game because the Dogs went on and won the region the next day.
Well, and unfortunately, we've seen that happen this season. Just up the road at Heritage earlier this year, we saw the Dogs with a big lead in the Generals. They did complete the comeback, though. So, like you said, you have to be careful about teams.
1-1 pitch is outside and low, 2 balls and a strike. So right now the region standings go like this. Heritage is in first and really just one magic number away from clinching the region. Northwest Whitfield, though, is neck and neck with the Bulldogs. First, the 2-1 pitch runner goes. It's a hit and run to the right side, but it will be playable in right field. The catch is made and the side is retired. Dogs had a couple of runs here in the top of the second, and as we head now to the bottom half, Cedartown 3 and Southeast Raiders nothing. Back after 60 seconds on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, 2 Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, and that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A.
4, 5, and 6 due up for the Raiders as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The Dogs with a 3-0 lead. It'll be MacArthur, Singleton, and Lay due up defensively. For Southeast, we have not gotten to that one yet. It'll be Williams, Lay, Singleton, and Couch, third to first. The catcher, MacArthur. First pitch on the way from O'Neill, though, to MacArthur.
And the pitch is low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Wanted to go back to what we were talking about before the break on the region standings to this point. As we mentioned, Heritage is a magic number away from clinching. 1-0 pitch is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Northwest Whitfield is 8-4 in region play, which means Cedartown really needs to win these 2 games in this series. Swing and a miss on a heat-seeking missile there.
I tell you, O'Neill is humming it today.
He is, 2-1.
He ate his Wheaties this morning and put a little mustard on his hot dog this afternoon.
2-1 pitch on the way. Just missed inside for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Dogs are virtually tied with Northwest Whitfield. We've got 2 less games on the region schedule completed than they do. There's a ball hit to the left side, and it's going to be a base hit. First hit given up by the Bulldogs here today. It goes into left field, and Jack Roper will throw it in there. And here's Singleton now with the runner on first, and nobody out here in the bottom half of the second.
Noah Singleton getting the start out at second base, and like you said, Cedartown and Northwest pretty much knotted up. The Dogs, it's essential that Cedartown pick up these next 2 wins and really and truly, Andrew, sweep Sonoraville.
It's outside ball 1 ball, no strikes. If Cedartown and Northwest end up with the same region record, the Dogs have the tiebreaker because we swept them
3-0.
In fact, 3 of their 4 region losses are from Cedartown. So here's the pitch. It's fouled away. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike now. Actually, nothing in 1, I think. That is, yes, nothing in 1 the count. And the pitch. It's a wild pitch, goes back. It's a favorable bounce. The throw will go to second base, however, and he'll be there in plenty of time. So first wild pitch of the day. It's but 1 ball, 1 strike, and the runner in scoring position. But you're right, Sam. It's now 2-1. So I was correct. I didn't have a ball up
You were
there.
correct, yes, sir.
So it's 2 balls and a strike. Jay checks the runner and delivers. That's fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Central is behind Cedartown, currently in 4th place, a 6-6 region mark. Sonoraville on the outside looking in. They've got 4 region wins. Makes next week's series so huge. Bounced up there, full count, 3-2.
It's interesting that 2 years in a row it's going to be a big battle between Cedartown and Sonoraville. Of course, this year a little bit different than last year as those 2 teams were vying for first place in the region. This year, Cedartown will be battling to hopefully overtake second place with a sweep of Sonoraville.
Payoff pitch. Tapper towards second base, picked up over there. The throw to first will be in time. Runner moves over to third. That'll be the first out of the second for the Bulldog defense.
Good play there by Caleb Formby getting the start over at second base, and I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting by his parents, but it was a good play there by the young man to come in, make a good play, get the throw over to first base to Dingler, and that will be the first out of the inning. That will bring up Lay, who will get the start. He's starting at shortstop today for the Raiders.
There's a little tapper toward shortstop. In fact, they'll go to third. They'll go home, and they got him at home plate. Ace Allen came in front of the shortstop, X Holiday, and had an absolutely perfect line to the plate. Threw down there, and a great tag applied by Allred, and they got the runner, and the game remains scoreless. 2 gone.
That's one of the best plays that the Dogs have made at the plate all season, in my opinion. Ace Allen with a quick and a smart decision there just to go to Allred. Heads-up play there by Allred to be ready for the throw. You would think traditionally that would just go straight down to first base, but both of those guys heads-up plays, and the Dogs have preserved the 3-0 lead with the second out of the inning to throw over to first base, and Lay is back safely. That one sounded like that one hurt.
Pitch on the way, gets away, back to the backstop, and runner moves up to second base. 1 ball and no strikes, and Jay a little frustrated with that pitch.
Williams, the third baseman, at the plate for the first time this afternoon for the Raiders. Cedartown boys soccer is probably finished by now.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball, 1-1.
They had a game earlier this afternoon. They had to go back to Alabama for the
Playing
second straight day.
Guntersville, weren't
They took on Fort Payne yesterday.
Fort Payne is a good soccer program, let me tell you. Pitch on the way is outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Williams.
And they have concluded their game. They took a 6-2 loss against Guntersville. So the Dogs 0-2 against the Alabama teams.
Swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Playoffs begin a week from yesterday at Cedartown Memorial Stadium, Doc Ayers Field, and against Druid Hills.
We'll hopefully be broadcasting that game.
We will have it on our video platforms. Did that hit him? No, it's off the glove. It's going to be probably a pass ball, and the runner will move up to third base, and the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It hit something. I guess it hit.
Maybe just went off of Allred's glove.
Might have been. But the runner 90 feet away at third base, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Jay delivers to the plate. Comebacker to the mound, but he'll pick it up and throw to first. He might have a bruise after that, but he got the out, and that'll be out number 3. Dogs able to quell a little bit of a rally here in the bottom half of the second inning. Big play, a fielder's choice at home plate on a tag, a throw there from double alt to the plate. Gavin Allred laid down that tag to keep the game scoreless as we head to the third inning. Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this word from our Cedartown Bulldogs sponsors on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big Double A.
3-0 is your score here from Southeast High School. The Dogs leading the Raiders as we will go to the top of the third inning. Cedartown running into a little bit of trouble there at the bottom of the second, but a good ground out to end the inning. I will say, though, that for those of you watching on video, you saw it. For those of you listening on the radio, you did not. But that ground ball back up the middle to end the inning, it bounced off of the chin of Jay O'Neill, which he's a tough young man, so I'm not expecting that to hinder him too much, but we do want to keep an eye on that. It will be number 6, Samuel Formby, who will lead off the top of the third inning for Cedartown. 4, 5, and 6 due up. Formby is 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Sam Branch alongside Andrew Carter. Tyrone back in the studio for us, running the board.
One of 4 hits for the Bulldogs have come off the bat of Samuel. And the first pitch to him is low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count.
Besides the stiff breeze, it is a absolutely beautiful afternoon
for
high school baseball.
Well, we were set up out in the sun, and we were like, let's get in the shade. That one just missed inside, ball 2, 2-0.
Well, you knew it was going to give me a sunburn. That's what it is.
I was actually more.
You were looking out for me, and I appreciate it.
I was actually more concerned with the equipment, but we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count now.
He might have been aiming for the top of the pine trees out in deep center.
It may have.
We'll do it again, though.
2 balls and a strike now as C kicks and deals. And it's a breaking ball, chopped foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dalen Holiday, as you heard, dropped the weight off his bat and went over there to retrieve it.
Formby due up for the Dogs here in the top of the third inning. Cedartown will be back at home on Monday against Sonoraville to start off that big series. That'll be senior night.
2-2 pitch is line foul. Right side was another breaking ball.
First pitch of Monday's game is scheduled for 5:30, but they're going to do senior night festivities, as I like to call them. They're going to start out around 5:10 is from what I have seen, so you'll be sure to join us for that as we recognize the Bulldogs senior on Monday night, Cedartown High School senior night.
2-2 is driven
drop
to the right side foul. He's been able to turn on that breaking ball right there, and that time he fouled it away down the right side about maybe 10, 15 feet foul. Still 2-2 the count now to the Bulldogs right fielder. That's going to bounce up there. Full count, 3-2.
You mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, but anything that's going to be hit into the outfield, once it gets on the ground, it's not going to go far. This grass is super thick here at Southeast. If you're watching the Masters, this is probably about equivalent to the second cut of the rough there at Augusta.
3-2 pitch, hit on the ground toward the right side and foul again. So count still 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think that's a very good comparison. It's not like the definitely not like the fairway.
Absolutely
not.
But
it is definitely.
Now right here behind home plate is.
2-2 pitch is fouled back. Just got a piece of it.
Really good at bat here by Formby.
Actually, I think that might be that's real grass. Some fields have turf.
Yeah, they have a lot of that turf right behind home plate.
Speaking of which, there's not a lot of room between home plate and the backstop here.
Not at all.
Not a lot of foul territory either compared to some other places we've seen. 3-2 pitch, hit off the end of the bat, fouled the opposite side this time.
And it does have some type of padding right behind home plate up against the cement block wall, but I will tell you that padding is not very thick at all. So anything that's hit to the backstop is probably going to bounce back pretty quickly.
We've already
as
seen
well.
that.
Yep.
We already saw that on one of Jay's wild pitches. That's popped up and foul behind us. Look out, folks. Drops in the parking lot behind us. Count still 3-2. Next week, as we mentioned, only our final regular season home game
Monday.
is Monday, and then we come right back here Tuesday, and then Thursday a doubleheader at Sonoraville to wrap up the regular season, hoping we're region runners-up. Breaking ball outside, ball 4. Great at bat there by Samuel Formby, draws the walk.
What an at-bat there by Formby. He stayed patient at the plate. He fouled off pitch after pitch to stay alive, and he leads the inning off with a walk, and that'll bring up now Dalen Holiday, who is 0 for 1.
I'd love for Dalen to get a hold of a hanging
Buddy, I'll tell
breaking
you
ball
what,
here.
he could bust one.
C comes set. Throw goes down to first base, pops. I think it actually hit Samuel in the back. He's safe. Dalen Holiday, his last time up, went 0 for 1.
Atlanta and Miami are officially underway in South Beach. It is all knotted up at 0 apiece in the bottom of the first. Chris Sale getting the start for the Braves, coming in with a 3.38 ERA, and we talked about it on the way up here. What a smart move that looks like now by the Braves to sign Sale in the offseason with the injury to Strider.
Breaking ball hit foul. Nothing in one the count. You're right, and I think that it's going to pay dividends. And really, the Braves have a pretty good depth of starting pitching in the minor leagues they can choose from. You know, they had Winans up there. It didn't really work out too well. You've got you got Smith Shawver. That one misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He saw
also
some action last year.
Yeah.
And you can definitely rely
also,
on him.
Waskari Noah coming
Yep.
off of Tommy John. He's available. He's at AAA Gwinnett right now. 1-1 the count to Dalen Holiday. And C delivers. And it's down low 2-1.
And just to prove how invested Atlanta is in their farm system, Randall Brazier, our good friend Randall, who does a lot for the Bulldogs team, also does some work for the Rome Emperors. I don't know if you saw it, but the other day he posted a photo of Alex Anthropoulos in the stands
C1
there.
is hit toward second base. They'll get the out at first. Runner moves up to second base, almost like a swinging bunt there. That'll be the first out of the inning, and to second base goes Samuel Formby.
But Double A in the audience there in Rome, checking out some of the Emperor's talent, kind of looking at what he can draw from, and so
those guys, a lot of those guys are fresh off the draft.
Yep, and the Braves are just totally invested in their farm system and making the most out of what they have to work with. So 1 out in the inning here, though, in the top of the third, as Formby is out at second base. Caleb Formby up to bat.
He drills it to the left side. It's down for a base hit left field. Samuel's going to stop at third as the throw comes in toward third base, and they're at the corners. You know, I think back on one of the best family moments I've seen between Caleb and Samuel, and that goes back to that Central game,
Yes,
Sam.
it does, absolutely.
It was one of the best started games we've seen for a pitcher. It was the game was scoreless for the longest time. Samuel Formby got a double, and then Caleb came one batter later and drove him in for the game's only run, and that was all it took. And I think that game turned the season around for the Bulldogs.
Such a pivotal game for the Dogs, such pivotal at-bats for both of those young men, and now they stand at the corners with Cole Dingler up to the plate, who is 1 for 1 with a run.
Stretching the pitch. Dingler hits it foul down the third base line. Nothing in 1 the count.
Dingler, one of the few Bulldog seniors on this 2024 squad, has been an anchor at first base for the Dogs for years and has made some incredible plays that we have seen just in this season, but also dating back to seasons prior.
The 0-1.
Count.
Bounced up there.
And now it's even.
1 ball and 1 strike. You know, I was actually doing some reminiscing the other day. I was thinking about what great things this senior class has seen.
Oh, my goodness.
You think about the
three straight region titles.
Elite 8, Final 4 appearances. That's down low, 2 balls and a strike. I'll never forget the series at LaGrange. What an incredible series that was. The Dogs came just up short of getting to a title game. And then, of course, the game that you called with me, that's Flowery Branch Cedartown game where they won.
Absolutely.
That was an incredible. And the senior class was a part of that. Bounced up there, and it's a 3-1 count now to Cole Dingler.
And I will never, ever forget just the battle last year in the final series of the game. You know, we went to Sonorville, as time is called. We went to Sonorville, and that game carried a lot of tension. That game, as much as you try not to make it personal, that was a series that was personal for the Dogs. A lot of things and comments and conversations were going back and forth between those two teams that honestly should not have been had at all. But the Dogs stood tall, and even though they took one on the chin in game one up at Sonorville, they would come home and complete the series with 2 games winning, as that one is a ball 4, as Dingler will go down to first base, and that'll load the bases. But just the way that the Dogs battled back last year to secure that 3rd region win, just some amazing things that this senior class has seen. A lot of amazing things that last year's senior class has seen, and that's what you want to do, is build programs where when every senior class gets to graduate, they get to talk about the great things they've been a part of.
Here's Gavin Allred, 1 for 1, hits it to the left side. It's going to be caught, and everybody's going to have to head back to their bases. The throw comes in toward third.
Shoe tops
it
there
sure
by
was.
Johnson.
2 outs is Johnson able to make that catch. If he doesn't make that catch, 2 runs are going to score.
Yeah, I was going to say that saved 1 run and more than likely 2 runs, because you've got the speedy Formby brothers at second and third base, and that easily would have put the Dogs up 5-0, but instead it's an out for the second out of the inning, and it's still 3-0, and it brings up Jack Roper, who is 0 for 1 with a run scored.
Pitch to Roper, pops it foul back behind us. 0-1 now to the senior, another one of the Dogs seniors. No balls and a strike. The count now to Jack Roper. Third base, Samuel Formby. Caleb Formby is at second, and at first base is Cole Dingler.
It's not a Raider, but there is a hawk hanging out over around the Bulldogs dugout.
Here's the 0-1. That just clipped him on the way by. It's going to bring home a run on the bases loaded hit batsman, and Roper will gladly take that, and he'll reach first base. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and the Dogs lead 4-0, and we're back to the top of the order. Xavier Holliday, the Dogs shortstop, 1 for 2 with a run scored.
X, of course, would get things started off for the Dogs with that single in the first inning and would come around to score.
First pitch to X. Hits it to left center field. That ball is going deep. It's going to be down, and it's going to plate 1 run, maybe 2. Yeah, it's going to bring home a couple. And the Dogs are going to take a 6-0 lead.
A big inning so far for the Dogs here in the third. They put up 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, and they just plated their 3rd run of the inning here in the top of the third and have a 4-0 lead with Ace Allen, the third baseman, coming to the plate.
6-0.
6-0, excuse me. I can't count.
It's all right. Here's Ace Allen. That one pops away. Here comes Roper, and he's going to be safe.
Or did it hit him?
No, it hit the batter on deck. At the plate. It was actually Ace Allen was just kind of staying there aside, and the catcher threw it, and it hit his legs.
So now it's 7-0.
Get out of the way!
And to third base goes X Holiday.
Dogs with a big inning here in the third.
Go drive the ball.
4 runs already across.
They're hoping to
keep adding to it.
Yeah. Runner at third base. 2 outs, 4 runs in. The wind, the pitch on the way. Base hit to left field. That X Holly is going to score. It's going to be an RBI single for Ace Allen. It's 8-0 Bulldogs.
That'll bring up Tony Ware, who is 0 for 2. He'll come to the plate looking for his first base hit of the afternoon, and it could not come at a better time with Ace Allen standing over at first. The Dogs already with 5 runs across here in the third inning with an 8-0 lead. They have 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Just a good game so far for the Dogs here in Dalton.
Hit past shortstop, another base hit with 2 outs. Stopping at second base will be Ace Allen, and he just see ball, hit ball. That's exactly what he did right there. Here comes Samuel Formby.
Well, Tony.
So Formby comes back to the plate. 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. Samuel getting the start out in right field this afternoon.
Cedartown with 4 games next week, 4 important games. Breaking ball, got the call over the outside corner, 0-1.
The first of those 4 will be on Monday at 5:30 against Sonoraville. And then, like you said earlier, Andrew, we will come back up here on Tuesday for the final game of that series and then go on the road to Sonoraville to close out the regular season.
The 0-1, high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Samuel Formby.
The Atlanta Hawks are also about to close out their regular season on the outside looking in. Got to go into that playoff.
The play-in tournament.
The play-in for the playoffs will be the Hawks. They just couldn't get anything going this year for Atlanta.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 now.
The Hawks would score, or they would win 2 or 3 in a row, and then they would end up losing 3 or 4 in a row, and just never really able to get things going in the right direction. But hopefully they'll have some success in that play-in tournament.
1-2 pitch, hit on the ground. That's going to make it through for a base hit on the right side. Rounding third, here comes Ace Allen to the plate. Throw comes toward the plate. He's safe, and moving over to third base was Tony Ware on the throw. And the runners are at the corners. It's now 9-0. Bulldogs on top big here in the top of the third.
So Samuel Formby will be over at first base. Ace Allen will be at third base, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter for the Dogs, Dalen Holiday, who is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Still looking for his first base hit. And right now, the way things are going, that is likely.
First pitch misses low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Still 2 outs in the inning. The Dogs striking for a lot of runs, 6 of them total here in the third, and a lot of them coming with those 2 outs.
1-0 pitch, high and away, 2-0.
9-0 is your score. Are you surprised that Southeast has not made a move to the bullpen yet?
No. Ground ball hit to second base. That should end the inning. The throw will go on to first, and that will retire the side, but not before the Dogs put 6. A crooked number, I guess you would say, on the board.
I'll take it.
9-0 lead for the Bulldogs as we head to the bottom half of the third. We'll come back after 60 seconds on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Make the right play. Go to Peach State Ford in Cedartown today.
Rush to Peach State Ford in Cedartown. Peach State Ford has a championship lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles. Peach State Ford is now open in your backyard.
Peach State Ford is proud to be part of your local community. Whether you're waiting for your vehicle to get serviced, picking up a part for your vehicle, or stopping by to check out a new vehicle for yourself, Peach State Ford offers a wide range of amenities to enhance your experience. Peach State Ford in Cedartown, 2076 Rockmart Highway, 770-748-3673. Livewire Surplus. Stop in today at 546 North Main Street. New items are arriving all the time. At Livewire, they have unbelievable deals on lawnmowers, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. But that's not all. How about your patio? Livewire has top-of-the-line grills, patio tables and chairs, fire pits, and so much more. All fresh off the truck, brand new, still packaged, and price to sell. Livewire Surplus, 678-861-5021. Take your truck. You're going to need it to load up on the savings.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big Double A.
A big third inning for the Dogs as they put a 6 spot up and have a 9-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Jay O'Neill still on the mound for the Dogs. He will face 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Raiders in Davis, Johnson, and Hampton. It's been a while since Jay has been out on the mound, and the last time he was out, Andrew, he took a ground ball right up the middle and right off of his chin. We'll see how well he does here.
Looks like he's all right. That one fouled away to the right side.
Fine.
0-1 the count.
Jay, a tough young man. I don't expect that one to bother him at all, as he is ahead in the count 0-1 on Davis, who is just now coming to the plate for the first time, and he is the DH for the Raiders.
Jay delivers an 0-1. Called strike, 0-2, right down the middle. You know, one thing that I know that Jay wants to do. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Little tapper in front of the plate. Could be a tough play. Pick up the throw to first, and they throw it on to first, but he's going to be out in plenty of time. And that'll be out number 1. I They're going to give him first?
They're going to give him first. I think they're going to call some type of maybe interference on the catcher. I was trying to listen in as the umpire was explaining it, but I missed it, and I think Coach Johnson's going to come out for an explanation. I'll see what I can hear. I think they're maybe saying they're going to call interference on the catcher. So they will call interference, I believe, on the catcher, Allred, which will put the runner over at first base in
maybe I
Davis.
wasn't looking for that, but I didn't see it. 0-1 on a called strike to the next batter, Johnson. His first appearance, ninth place hitter. Ground ball up the middle, maybe 2, 6, and to 3. Double play, 2 gone, bases empty.
And just like that, the interference is a moot point. The Dogs have 2 outs on the inning, and we will go back to the top of the order in Hampton. This is just his second plate appearance as the Dogs have batted through with the big 9-0 lead. Cedartown, most of their guys have been up to the plate 3 times now. We are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch on the way from O'Neill to the center fielder for the Raiders in there for called strike 1.
Hampton, victim of a strikeout to begin the bottom half of the first. The 0-1. Fastball low, 1-1 the count. Going back to what I was saying about what Jay wants to do. He just wants to build his strength back little by little, doing that so in playing opportunities in high school. Strike 2 called outside corner. Then he can get back to summer ball and really build up that strength and get ready for his senior season. And then, of course, his collegiate career at Georgia Tech. Breaking ball away, 2-2.
Allred trying to bring that one in, but I don't think it was going to work on the framing. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes against Hampton. 2-2.
2-2 pitch, swung and missed, strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout for Jay O'Neill in this ball game in a very quick 3rd inning, bottom half of the 3rd. We head to the 4th. Cedartown leads 9-0 back after 60 seconds on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Coverage of Cedartown High School Bulldogs baseball on the Big AA is brought to you in part by Republican State Representative Trey Kelly of Cedartown.
This is Representative Trey Kelly. I want to wish all the players and coaches a safe and successful season. You've worked hard to represent us on the field, and I'm proud to represent you in the Georgia House of Representatives. Again, this is Representative Trey Kelly, and I want to thank you for listening to the Big AA. Go Dogs!
This announcement paid for by State Representative Trey Kelly, kellyforhouse.com. Cedar Stream, the industry leader in screen printed apparel. They offer screen printing, embroidery, and signs and banners. At Cedar Stream, they have a fully automated screen printing facility here in Cedartown with the ability to efficiently and effectively distribute products all over the United States. Cedar Stream is a local family-run business with a big vision. Contact Cedar Stream today to find out what they can do for you. 800-686-7488 or cedarstream.com. Cedar Stream, shirts, it's what we do.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
A new pitcher as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Cedartown with a 9-0 lead. The Cedartown striking for 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, and a bid 6 number in the 3rd inning. It will be 6, 7, and 8 due up for Cedartown, and Caleb Formby, Cole Dingler, and the backstop Gavin Allred for Cedartown. Formby comes to the plate 1 for 1 on the afternoon. He has a walk, also a run scored. Dingler 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored and a walk, and Allred is 1 for 2. We'll get you a new pitcher as soon as Game Changer updates it. The throw down to second base, and we are ready to go. Sam Branch alongside Andrew Carter here from Southeast High School up in Dalton, Georgia. The Dogs in a region contest here on this Saturday afternoon, trying to extend their region record and also pick up their 2nd win against the Raiders. Cedartown defeated Southeast back on Monday by a final of 10-0. We're ready to go to work here against Formby.
First pitch misses high and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
Hey, let's go, Tech. Easy, baby. Easy.
The wind, the 1-0.
Good.
Low end.
Wear it.
2 balls, no strikes, the count.
Game Changer has not updated yet the new pitcher for the Raiders.
2-0. Ball 3.
Spin.
3 balls and no strikes.
The Marlins lead the Braves 1-0 right now.
Top of the first.
Top second.
Top second. 3-0. Called strike right down the middle. 3-1 now the count.
There now.
Scotty Scheffler still leading the Masters tournament at 7 under par through 9. Colin Morikawa in second place at 6 under.
3-1 is skied foul out of play back behind us toward the practice fields. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Of course, if you've ever been here for anything, the football stadium is directly behind the baseball field, the softball field directly to our left. 3-2 is grounded foul toward the third base side. And we'll do another 3-2 pitch here.
I've done football here before years ago when we were not in the same region, I believe, as Southeast, but this is my first trip for baseball.
This is Elijah Couch, by the way, on the mound, number 2. If I'm not mistaken, he pitched on Monday.
I don't know if I've done basketball here yet either. Did I do basketball here this
I
season?
don't think you did. I think it was just me.
Yep.
It was really, really cold. I remember coming up here. They've got a very nice basketball facility here. Payoff pitch on the way. Ball 4 outside. Good, another good take. Another walk to lead off an inning here as we start the top of the 4th with the free pass.
And another good at bat by one of the Thornby brothers, as that will bring up Cole Dingler, who is 1 for 1 with a walk and 2 runs scored. So he comes to the plate with the runner over at first base. Couch checking the runner at first.
And that ball is drilled deep to the left side. That ball is going to be foul. Boy, he hit that hard.
He did, but it hooked almost immediately to the left side.
Don't think it would have had a home run distance, but it was hit really, really hard. Hit it off that high fence down the left side. No balls and a strike. Pitch. Took something off of it, and it was a bit upstairs.
Just a bit upstairs. That was a good pitch there by Couch.
1 ball, 1 strike now the count to Dingler. Couch is ready, comes set, and the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2.
Go.
Final line for C there, Andrew, was 3 innings pitched. 9 runs, 7 of them earned on 9 hits with 5 walks and no strikeouts.
2-1. Ball driven deep to left center field. That ball is going to be down at the wall. Rounding second, heading toward third is Formby. He's going to have the green light from first base, and he's going to score easily. Throw comes to the cutoff man. They've got Dingler caught between second and third. He's going to try to run it down, and he'll slide back into second base, and he'll be out.
But I tell you what, he at least made it a close play there at second base, did Dingler, so he will be out, but he picks up the RBI as Caleb Forby comes around to score, and it is 10-0.
Base is empty now with 1 out. That 10-run lead is a big threshold if the Dogs want to get out of here early.
I would not have my feelings hurt. Gavin Allred up to the plate for the Dogs, the Cedartown backstop. He looks at one that misses the zone 4, ball 1. Allred is 1 for 2 on the afternoon.
Couch winds and delivers. Allred pops it up to the right side. Who's going to get to it? Nobody will. It's going to fall in the Bermuda Triangle out there. Rounding first, and he'll head back to the bag, and Gavin Allred has himself a bloop single to the right.
See, Singleton and Nix all went out there to try to field it, and Singleton and Nix, the second baseman and the right fielder, they just kind of lost it. And it did fall in no man's land, and Allred, I believe, will have a courtesy runner, and he will in number 11, Jacob Yarber. So Yarber will come out and run for Allred, and that will bring up Jack Roper. who is 0 for 1 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Dogs left fielder coming to the plate. 10-0 your score. Only one out here in the top of the fourth.
That one bounced up there, too, and 1 ball and no strikes. I believe that 1 RBI was a bases-loaded hit batsman.
You are correct, sir. Your memory is better than mine sometimes.
Not very often, but sometimes.
Every now and then.
1-0 pitch. High. Ball 2 as the catcher MacArthur kind of jumped up to look the runner back to first base. 2-0 now to Jack Roper. Couch nods, looks toward first. Comes from the stretch and the pitch. It's going to get away. Back to the backstop, heading to second base will be Yarbrough. He'll be standing there, and it's a 3-0 count now to Jack Roper.
Holiday on deck for Cedartown, back to the top of the order. Holiday, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. He has had a heck of a day from the plate.
I just noticed, you'll see when Holiday comes to the plate here in a moment. 3-0 pitch, bounces up there, ball 4 gets away. Runner's going to move up to third, and they'll be at the corners. So a 4-pitch walk will bring X Holiday to the plate. X wearing the old-fashioned stirrup socks.
Good look there. Couch is struggling, and I think that the coach is going to have to come out of the dugout, and he will. This looks like it might be a pitching change, as Couch might have suffered some type of injury there.
Yeah,
he is doubled over right in front of the pitcher's mound as the head coach for Southeast comes out, as well as MacArthur, and the infield will kind of come in and talk to him.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this is, but he's heading out of the ball game. I think, yes. So he's gonna come out. Couch's day is short, only goes a third of an inning, giving up a run, and the runners on base are his responsibility. So we'll see who the new pitcher is when we come back. Cedartown leads 10-0, but threatening for more as we head to this 60-second timeout on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. Their phone number 678-246-1031. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown. Or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Bradford's Drugstore on North Main Street in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all of your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacist takes time to get to know you, explain your medication, and answer any questions that you may have. Go by and see Bill Brewster and all the fine folks at Bradford's the next time you need a prescription filled. Also use their convenient drive-thru. Bradford's Drugstore, 500 North Main Street, Cedartown, 770-748-3100. And all the folks at Bradford say, go Dogs.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big Double A.
Ten to nothing is your score. The Dogs on top as we go to a new pitcher in Williams for Southeast. Cedartown leading here in the top of the fourth inning. 1 run scored in the top of the first, 2 in the top of the second. A big third inning for the Dogs as they would plate 6, and they've already pushed across 1 here in the top of the fourth. And Cedartown has runners on the corner in Jack Roper and a courtesy runner for Gavin Allred in Jacob Yarbrough. Holiday.
Mason Wilson, number 7.
Holiday at the plate for the Dogs, and I think we are ready to go back to work. It might be, if things will hold up, Andrew, an early afternoon for the Dogs here in Dalton, which means an early afternoon for you and I.
Williams delivers to the plate. That ball is driven to the right side, down for a base hit. 1 run will score, stopping at second base. And runners will be at first and second now.
Jack Roper will stand out at second, and Holiday over at first. X with his third hit of the afternoon, and that will bring up Ace Allen, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Holiday, a heck of a game from the plate,
really.
Andrew. He is 3 for 4, 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored for the Bulldogs senior.
Williams from the stretch and the pitch. A bouncer up there. Holiday kind of caught between first and second, but he heads back there without a throw.
Good stop there by MacArthur to keep that one in front of him. We've seen several get past him, but he used his body there and really just kept it in front of him as much as he could, and that prevented anybody from advancing. So Roper still stands out at second and Holiday over at first.
One ball, no strikes.
Yep, Ace Allen ahead in the count.
And it's ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. The Dogs are already to the point to where the game could end in the 5th inning.
Go, Double O.
I think if we get to another plateau, it could end in this inning.
Go, Ace.
2-0. Outside for ball 3. You don't want to assume anything, but the way things are going in this inning, it could possibly reach that.
Let's go drive it.
Tony Ware on deck for the Dogs. He's 1 for 3. He'd love to pick up an RBI. Ace Allen already with 2 on the afternoon.
3-0 pitch bounces up there, ball 4. Everybody's going to move up 90 feet, and the bases will be loaded with nobody out. A 4-pitch walk puts Ace Allen aboard. So now Tony Ware, who's a dangerous bat.
Yeah, Ace not a chance to get his 3rd RBI, but it puts Tony Ware in a really good spot to get his 1st. Like
and
I said,
maybe more.
A dangerous at bat at that in Tony Ware. Tony, a long-time part of this Bulldogs squad. You had ex-Holiday that was wearing the old-school stirrup-style socks. Andrew, I don't think Tony Ware's wearing socks at all.
He's wearing ankle socks. Hits it to straightaway center field and pretty deep, but it's going to be playable. The catch will be made by the center fielder deep enough to score the run. Runner moves up to second as well. Here comes Roper to score. And Holiday moves up to third. They'll be at the corners with 2 outs, and the Dogs now lead 12-0. 2 gone in the inning as Tony Ware drives home a run, so he does get his ribby. And now it'll be Samuel Formby, who is 2 for 2 with a run scored, an RBI, and a walk, but I think they're going
to pinch hit for
Pinch hit for
Yep, they're going to put in Jacob Yarber. Jacob would come in and courtesy run for Gavin Allred, so he is going to now pinch hit for Samuel Formby.
So I guess it was a pure pinch run, and he'll replace him in the lineup. Probably just giving some guys some turns here with a big lead.
Yeah, you've got Ra Ware, who will also enter the game. He is on deck if Yarber is able to reach for the Dogs.
Well, when you have opportunities like this,
take full advantage.
The JV season is over, so give these guys some reps. Pitch to Yarbrough. Bounced up there, back to the backstop, but nobody will advance because the backstop is very close and got a favorable bounce.
Also, the umpire called that a foul ball, it looked like.
Did he?
Let's go.
Game Changer's got a ball. The scoreboard has a ball, but I'm pretty sure he called that one foul.
Well, we'll go with what you're saying.
And Game Changer just changed it to no balls and 1 strike.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yarber behind in the count. 12-0 is your score. The Dogs on top here in the top of the 4th inning. Another big inning for Cedartown, plating 3 runs so far.
0-2 is outside, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at the corners, and the Dogs have already put 3 on the board here in the top of the 4th.
Ace Allen over at first base, ex-Holiday at third. Long look in by Williams. Now he's ready to go.
Pitch to Jacob Yarbrough, breaking ball right down the middle. I thought it was a strike, but they're going to say ball 2.
I think the only place that one missed, Andrew, was maybe a smidgen high.
Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got a confirmation to Coach Johnson. We all knew that was the count anyway. 2-2. Little chopper foul to the left, and that'll be a 2-2 count.
Get it bat here by Yarber. Jacob getting some good swings here against Williams. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out.
2-2 to Yarborough. Line drive, left field, base hit. He gets an RBI on his first hit of the day. Runners will be at first and second, and the Dogs lead 13-0.
And I tell you, it looked like Williams had climbed the ladder a little bit on that one, and Yarborough went up and was able to get it and drive it to the left side with just a really good quality at-bat for the young man. Picks up a hit as well as an RBI, moves Ace Allen over to second base, and it will be Ra Ware who will come in. He will bat in place of Dalen Holiday, and that'll put the second baseman, Caleb Formby, on deck. So Ra looking to get aboard here and continue the inning. 4 runs across here in the top of the 4th inning. 13-0 is your score. Dogs on top.
Pitch on the way to Ra. Big cut and miss, 0-1.
I heard a little mumblings between some folks pregame while you were getting things set up, Andrew, and I believe the reason why this was not a doubleheader has to do with the umpiring situation.
Ground ball toward third base. He'll pick that up. The throw on to first will be in time, and that's out number 3. But Cedartown scores 4 runs in the top of the 4th inning as we head now to the bottom half of the 4th. Cedartown 13 and Southeast Whitfield Raiders nothing. Back after 60 seconds on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Cedar Valley Golf Course has been the place to play golf in Cedartown and Polk County for nearly a century. Locally owned and operated since 1924, Cedar Valley Golf Course offers 18 holes of some of the most beautiful fairways and greens in the area. Cedar Valley Golf Course is a proud supporter of the Cedartown High School Bulldogs and the greater Cedartown and Polk County region. Call for tee time, 770-748-9671, located just south of Cedartown at 1811 Buchanan Highway. Cedartown's original golf course, Cedar Valley Golf Course. Cedartown Automotive is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. For oil changes, new tires, or tire repair, brake work, tune-ups, air conditioner service, or repair, think of Cedartown Automotive. Cedartown Automotive is a longtime supporter of Cedartown High School athletics here on WGAA. Cedartown Automotive on East Avenue in Cedartown. Give them a call today at 770-749-5040 or stop by their beautiful location for fast and friendly service. And all the folks at Cedartown Automotive say, go Dogs!
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
13-0 is your score as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Dogs with a big lead over Southeast Whitfield. We're going to have a lot of changes for you, it looks like, but we will start with the pitcher's mound. Andrew, Jay O'Neill's day is done, and Will Graham will get the ball to try to close this one out. The final line on Jay O'Neill, 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. So
I'd say that's a successful outing.
That is a successful outing. We also got some confirmation. I said that it might be an umpiring issue. Actually, the reason why we're only playing 1 game at the doubleheader today, Southeast had to make up a game against Sonoraville today. So this is actually the 2nd game of the afternoon that the Raiders are playing. They were defeated by Sonoraville by a final score of 15-0 in that game 1.
Some other changes defensively. Number 14 is now playing third base.
That is
for the
Everett
Bulldogs.
Perkins.
And then you got Ace Allen shifting over to shortstop. Also in the outfield, I think we have a different left fielder now.
I think we've got a completely different I know we've got a different left fielder and center fielder. Center fielder is going to be number 17, Bobby Jones.
Game changers yet to update all the new defensive positions.
Dakota Matthews will also come in to catch, it looks like, for the Dogs. Cole Dingler is still going to hang around over at first base for Cedartown. Caleb Formby will still do his duties at second base. It looks like maybe number 9, Connor Peak, will check in over at left field. And I'm assuming Yarborough, and yes, Yarborough will stay in over at right. So like you said, a wholesale lot of changes for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning as they are up 13-0 in a really good 3 innings from Cedartown's Jay O'Neill. Will Graham will get the ball to start the 4th inning. Cedartown looking to close things out here against Southeast early, hopefully, and get on the bus and head back to Cedartown. O'Neill will face Couch to start things off.
Couch only lasted a third of the inning on the mound, but then stayed in the game to play the field, and now he's at the plate. And he'll take one, a called strike right down the middle. The side-winding Graham on the mound, kind of sidearm delivers.
2, 3, and 4 due up for the Raiders here.
Dakota Matthews sets up, and the pitch on the way. Hit to left field. It's going to be a chance for Peak. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Hit it right at him. So Couch is retired.
Off to a good start. He has Graham as looks like Matthews is adjusting his pitch comm, getting his earpiece back in. I still can't get over that, Andrew. Still don't know how I feel about it. But it's here. We just have to deal with it.
Inside, ball one to C. He was the starting pitcher of the ball game, now playing first base.
C would only last 3 innings. And in those 3 innings, he would give up 10 runs.
1-0 is a comebacker to the mound. Good play there by the first base in time for out number 2, and a big cheer from the Cedartown dugout.
C would give up those 10 runs on 9 hits, 8 of those runs earned, and he would issue 5 walks and would not record a strikeout for the Raiders. So that will bring up MacArthur, the catcher, who is 1 for 1 on the afternoon. He has the only southeast hit.
Pitch on the way is low and in for ball one from Graham.
Southeast, no runs on 1 hit and 2 errors. Cedartown showing 13 runs on 13 hits and 1 error.
1-0 pitch. Little pop to the right side. That's going to get down for a base hit. A little bloop shot to the right side. And he's got the second base hit for the Raiders. Sam Branch, my partner over here, spoke that one into existence.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? So that'll bring up Singleton. He's the second baseman at 0 for 1. With MacArthur standing over at first on that one, just a little blooper over to the right side. Landed in no man's land out there, and we're going to have a courtesy runner come in for MacArthur. It will be number 1 for the Raiders. Will Graham on the mound.
Luis Familia. Familia started in the first game of the series. I believe he was the DH. Pitch to Singleton, they'll throw to first base, and Familia is back there safely.
So if he started in the first game, does that mean you are familiar with him?
I am, yes.
I am not, see, since I did not work Monday's game.
Call strike one, outside corner.
Can you believe that we made it all the way to the 4th inning, and that was my first corny joke of the afternoon?
I'm shocked. 0-1 the count.
Well, we were too busy scoring 13 runs.
Foul back. 0-2. And don't quote me on this, but I think we may be done after this inning. I'm not sure if how that works on the less than 4, less than 5.
I would be fine with that if that is the ruling.
Throw to first base and diving back in safely is Familia. Am I correct on that?
No, we have to have 15.
So we're not quite to that point.
Right.
0-2 is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But we do have a good cushion for that.
Yes, we do.
For that 5th inning rule for 10 runs. Give some of these young guys some at-bats in the top of the 5th. Graham delivers. Just missed outside, 2-2.
Good pitch there by the young man, Will Graham. That one just missing the zone. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 4th.
2-2 pitch. Tapped foul.
Again, another good pitch there by Graham. I tell you what, Matthews is having a heck of a time with this pitch comm. I don't know if his positioning of the pack on his catcher's equipment is a little too far down, and his earpiece is not. It could be the hair.
Just the hair. He's got great hair, great locks. It's popped up right side.
I don't got it.
And going to land off the roof of the dugout. And when we say dugout, it's a true dugout. You literally go down about 6 stairs, and you're below ground.
I'll tell you this: if there was a tornado coming,
I'd want to be.
I'd want to be right there.
It's a true dugout that's below field level. There's no field house down there, though.
No, there's not.
2-2 pitch. Line drive to the right side. Base hit's going to get to the outfield, and I think rolled to. Nope. Picked up there by Jones. The throw back into the center of the infield, and runners will be at the corners.
You got to give a good credit there to Singleton. He hung in there and put up a good at bat against Graham, and it pays off with the single. So that will be just the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Raiders, and the first for somebody not named MacArthur. So runners now at the corners for Southeast in Singleton and Familia, and that will bring up Lay, the shortstop, who is 0-for-1.
Popped him up right side to first base. Dingler makes the catch right near the dugout, and that'll retire the side. And again, the Southeast Whitfield Raiders leave a runner at third base. They've only done that a couple of times. If you remember, we gunned out a runner trying to score and a fielder's choice, and that will keep the game scoreless as we head now to the top half of the 5th, back after this 60-second timeout on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Looking for a good used vehicle? Don't go out of town. Come see the folks at Dingler Motor Company, 526 North Main Street. Bad credit, no problem. Dingler Motor Company can get you back on the road in no time with their in-house financing. Top quality pre-owned late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stop by and check out their wide selection at 526 North Main Street across from Livewire Surplus. Call them at 770-748-0906. Search them on Facebook at Dingler Motor Co. That's Dingler Motor Company.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, 2 Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, and that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A.
13-0 is your score. The Dogs on top of the Southeast Whitfield Raiders as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Caleb Formby will lead things off for Cedartown, 6, 7, and 8. Due up here in the top of the 5th. Sam Branch alongside Andrew Carter bringing you Saturday afternoon high school baseball here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big Double A, 106.1 FM, AM 1340, also on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and the FHS Network. The Dogs looking to wrap up the season. We are in the latter parts of this regular season for Cedartown. They will be in action on Monday to start the last series of the season. They will take on Sonorville at home. That will be senior night, so we encourage everybody to come out and cheer on these Dogs in a critical game 1 of that series. And then on Tuesday, the Dogs will have to go back on the road. We'll have to come back up here to Dalton to finish out the series against Southeast. And then later in the week, we will go on the road to take on Sonorville in a doubleheader. And then we will look ahead to the playoff situation, Andrew. Right now, Cedartown, we're in 3rd, but we're nipping at the heels of Northwest Whitfield. The Bruins are right in front of us, and with a good series against Sonorville, of course, we got to close things out here against Southeast first, but with a good series against Sonorville, we could find ourselves in 2nd place in the region after starting off the season 0-8.
Yeah, that's really
a complete turnaround for the Dogs after that first 8 games of the season.
And not getting their first home win until, like early March, I think. So, yeah, I think it's really incredible to think where we've come from to get to where we are. I mean, still definitely some hurdles to jump over. So here we go, Caleb Formby to lead it off. Top of the 5th. Pitch on the way. And it takes it inside and it bounces away. 1 ball and no strikes to count. I was looking to see Northwest Whitfield, who they have left on the schedule. They just completed their series with Central and took 2 out of 3. And We'll tell you more about their schedule here in a moment. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Northwest Whitfield has left Heritage, so we want to be Heritage fans.
Yes, we do.
The rest
big Heritage fans.
Big Heritage fans the rest of the way. The 2-0 pitch, a strike.
Going to have some more changes in the lineup as Brady Kirsch is on deck for the Dogs, and it looks like Dakota Matthews, of course, since he replaced Gavin Allred, will bat in the 8th spot, and then Connor Peak will bat in the 9th spot. That one is upstairs for the ball, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike against Caleb Formby. So Heritage has pretty much secured the region win, so we need to be Heritage fans to knock out Northwest so we can secure that number 2 spot.
3-1 pitch is a called strike 2 as Caleb was leaning toward first base, but it's full count now. Still work to be done as far as the Bulldogs go. Sonoraville's not, they're down, but they're not a terrible team either.
They are down, but not out. That is for sure.
3-2 pitch. Ball 4 bounced up there, and the runner will be at first base. Caleb Formby takes his bait, and here comes Brady Kirsch.
I was talking to the Formby's dad before this game, and they were here for the Sonoraville Southeast game, and they said that Sonoraville, although they are down and not as competitive as they have been in the past, they can still hit the ball really well. And so, like you said, down but not out. And, of course, we still have to wrap things up here against Southeast. This one, it is a 13-0 lead, so you think that this one is pretty much in the bag, but we still have to come back here on Tuesday and take on those guys. Monday is going to be a big game for Cedartown. It's senior night. It's the first game of that Sonoraville series.
Well, it's the final guaranteed home game.
Yep. Now, if we get to that number 2 spot in the region, we should get to host, hopefully, some home playoff games, I would suspect. Is that correct?
At least one,
okay.
if you're the 2 seed.
So MacArthur, after dusting off a little bit of dust, I think maybe that got in his eyes, he's ready to go back to work, and that will bring up Kirsch for the first time this afternoon. He comes to the plate with Formby over at first base and nobody out.
This is his first varsity at bat. A lot of noise from the dugout. Pitch on the way. Ball 1.
This might be the most noise that we have made all afternoon. The guys are rowdy. They're on the fence there at the dugout, cheering on Kirsch.
Well, Mom and Dad are over there loving it, too. 1-0 pitch. Strike called, 1-1.
All right, now you know what you're dealing with. Now go to work here against Williams. Kirsch with the count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Williams checks the runner at first, and now he's set and ready to go.
Here's the 1-1. Popped him up. Third base side. Catch is made. Runner will stay put at first base. So that'll be out number 1 as Kirsch flies out to third. They'll bring up Dakota Matthews, his first at-bat of the day. Cedartown's lineup card's going to be longer than a CVS receipt.
You got that right. Matthews has been the primary catcher for a lot of this season, but here lately we've seen a lot of Gavin Allred. So Matthews grabs a bat for the first time this afternoon. Allred will finish the afternoon 2 for 3 from the plate.
Matthews, a big cut and the miss, and he came up empty 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. So I wonder if Kirsch takes over for Dingler on defense at first base. We'll see what happens in the bottom half of the 5th. Throw to first base, and back safely is Formby.
Still 2-0 in South Beach. The Marlins over the Braves, top of the 5th inning.
Breaking ball high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. That game's moving pretty quick, isn't it?
It is. The Red Sox lead the Angels 6-2, bottom of the 3rd, bottom of the 7th in Toronto, as the Blue Jays lead the Rockies 5-3. The Orioles on top of the Brewers 5-4 as they get ready to go into the 4th inning. The Phillies, those terrible Philadelphia Phillies with a 1-run lead over the Pirates 2-1 as they go to the bottom of the 4th.
1-1 pitch misses inside.
Did you see the unis? So they announced them
they're trash.
Earlier in the week, and then they wore them last night. terrible.
Yeah, they look.
They stink almost as bad as Philadelphia fans stink.
2-1 pitch.
And I mean that
Bouncer 3-1.
with the utmost love and respect that I can muster.
I was just going to say, mean it with all the hate you can muster.
Well, I was trying to be nice. Occasionally, my mother listens to the broadcast, so I don't want her to be too disappointed.
Throw back to first.
Yep,
Yeah, back safely goes Caleb Formby.
The Nationals lead Oakland 1-0. Oakland Athletics, this is their last season in the Oakland Coliseum. They're moving to Sacramento.
Can we still call them Oakland?
No, they're just going to go by the Athletics.
3-1 is line foul, left side, 3-2.
They will no longer go by the Oakland Athletics. They'll
Even
go
this
by,
year?
Well, this year they will, but starting next year, they're just going to go by the Athletics.
Wouldn't it be something if they somehow made the playoffs? It's not going to happen, but I'm just saying.
Their chances of making the playoffs are as good as my chances of being 5'6". Just not going to happen.
3-2 pitch. Breaking ball is just a bit high for ball 4, and a hard-earned walk there by Dakota Matthews. And it looks like Connor Peak will get his first at bat. He'll bat for in Roper's spot.
The Bronx Bombers beat the Cleveland Guardians in game 1 of a doubleheader. That's a makeup from a game on April the 12th. They beat Cleveland 3-2. The Twins with a big win over the Detroit Tigers 11-5. That's another doubleheader game 1 final. That one had to go to 12 innings, and they beat them 11-5.
Wow, must have been.
What a heck of a 12th inning for the Twins.
Must have been.
The Royals beat those nasty Mets 11-7. I'll take it all day long and twice on Saturday.
Peak, a high drive to left field, but it's going to be well foul. That ball drops in the bullpen over there. A loud strike 1 for Connor Peak.
Cincinnati Reds picking up a win over the Chicago White Sox 5-0. The Nightcaps for tonight. Show me the money. And the Dodgers will take on the Padres. Those two teams have played each other, I think, 19 times already this season.
Swing and a miss, I think, yeah. Unable to check his swing, nothing in 2. Yeah, they played the two
games
over in South Korea, and before the regular season started, but they counted as regular season games.
And they were almost a solid week before the regular season started. Not just a couple of days, basically a solid week before.
No balls and 2 strikes, the count. Pitch to Peak, and he fouls it back off the top of the. I guess it hit the pole.
It hit the pole right there.
I mean,
I
absolute.
see it.
An absolute.
A dinger.
A dinger off the and it stirred the bumblebees nesting inside the pole. Yeah, so
at least it's just bumblebees and not yellow jackets.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We will be thankful for that. Although we're also dealing with a infestation of chiggers. Hopefully, I don't think any have made it to the equipment yet. But
nasty little red things just all over the knee wall here.
Did you see where the Arizona hockey team announced in the middle of the season that they're going to move to Utah?
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to third base.
Ate him up.
Yep, he'll take the force at third. And that'll be out number 2 on the unassisted put out over there on the fielder's choice. And that'll be 2 gone as we head back to the top of the order. And looks like
Everett
Perkins will bat in the spot of X Holiday. Perkins actually he actually took over for Allen at some point, so I'm not sure here what the lineup situation is, but he's going to bat here in the leadoff spot. They looked the runner back to second base.
I can't help him. I don't know either.
I'm not sure.
I just know he's at the plate with 2 outs and runners at first and second. And we're up 13-0. I can tell you that.
Strike called.
That was a good pitch there by Williams.
This is one kid, we've talked about him a lot, Sam, but so excited to see what he's going to do in his future years as a Bulldog. We talked about Ace Allen in that same regard last year.
Golly, and if Everett Perkins can stay healthy, that kid's got a bright future.
Dogs have always had such a solid infield. And there's a base hit to the left side.
You spoke that one into existence.
See, Cole Cochran is running. He's at third base, and the bases are loaded now with 2 outs. And double-out Ace Allen will be the batter. But you'll have Perkins playing third, Ace Allen shortstop. You got the left side of the infield locked up pretty good, and of course you got second base locked up pretty good there with Caleb Formby playing, and sometimes you'll have
Owen Gerald
over there too.
Yeah. The only question mark really in the infield is going to be who's going to play
first base.
Yeah.
Bases loaded for Ace Allen. Big chance to break this game even more open than it is now. 13-0 lead and a called strike. 0-1 now the count to Ace Allen. Ace today, a couple of ribbies, 2 walks. Cole Cochran at third, Connor Peak at second, Ever Perkins is at first. In the 0-1. Ground ball to short. Got past his glove, and it's going to get through. It's going to score 2 runs. Throw comes in toward home plate. And 2 come across, and the Dogs now lead it by a score of 15-0.
Tell you what, you mentioned it, and I think that you are exactly right. The Dogs have busted this one even more wide open, wide enough for a Sherman tank to drive through it. 15-0 is your score. This is the exact score that the Raiders fell to Sonoraville earlier today. 30 runs so far posted against this Southeast squad.
Here's Bobby Jones, first at bat of the season on the varsity squad. Hits a little nub shot. That's going to be down for a base hit. It's going to score a run, maybe 2. Throw comes in towards second. They're going to hold him up at third as the throw came in. He's got himself a double.
It's not a birdie for Bobby Jones, but it's an RBI double.
16-0 Bulldogs. Way to go, Bobby.
They will have his green jacket waiting in the dugout. That'll bring up number 11, Jacob Yarber. He's going to come to the plate for the second time. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. I'll tell you what, tough afternoon for Southeast here at home on a Saturday afternoon.
There's no doubt about it. Yarborough gets between his legs back to the backstop. We don't try to move on the play.
I didn't even move on that play.
1 ball, no strikes. I'll tell you what, MacArthur did a good job of faking like he had it, because I was looking and it rolled back. And
well, and he's had his work cut out for him tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, behind the plate. He's done a good job so far.
He has done a good job.
Really for this Southeast team.
Absolutely. 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. Good pitch there from Williams. 1-1 the count. Ace Allen, runner at third, and Bobby Jones with his first first varsity hit, a double and an RBI. Ooh. Breaking ball inside, 2-1. Ra Ware waiting on deck, hoping for a turn in the inning. Just know the Dogs next week, with the exception of maybe the Tuesday game, there's a ball hit to center field, should be playable.
Late break by the center fielder, though, but he does come in and make the play as Hampton.
Cedartown puts 3 more on the board in the top of the 5th inning and lead it 16-0, and the final call coming up for the Southeast Raiders as we head to the bottom half after this 60-second timeout on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Are you ready for steel? Equipment, that is. At Croker's Hardware in Cedartown, we've got all the steel equipment. Blowers and shredder vacs, chainsaws, augers and drills, trimmers and brush cutters. We're very proud to be a retailer for the steel product line. As an independent dealer, we can provide many services that the big box chain stores just can't match. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is always ready to help you select the equipment that meets your specific needs. So call Croker's for a steel today. That's 770-748-4842 to learn more about steel in Cedartown.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the GHSA.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
Some more defensive changes for the Dogs as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cedartown with another big inning. They have a 16-0 lead over Southeast here on this Saturday afternoon edition of high school baseball on the Big AA. 3 runs across for Cedartown in the top of the fifth. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Will Graham still on the mound for the Dogs. Tyler Wade will check in at first base.
And the first pitch is popped up in the infield. Catcher and pitcher collide, and it falls foul.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
That's exactly what it is. Somebody's got to call for that, and that usually that ball is either the first baseman's or the catcher's to catch.
Yep. So that will put a runner at first, and it's Tyler Wade over at first.
So it was fair. I didn't see it fair. So it will be a base runner.
Owen Gerald also checks into the game to play second.
Ground ball toward third base and a foul ball. Nothing in one. Number 5 is the batter. Next week, first the pitch is a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Next week, Northwest Whitfield and Heritage will match up. Cedartown will be pulling for the Generals in that ball game, hoping for some help. And there's a ball to hit to first base. The throw on to second for 1. Catch it. Now the question is, did he catch it or was it a hop?
They called him out either way. Gerald was able to recover there at second base.
So it was a hop.
Yep.
And they go over to second base and get the force
and then there was a little issue there at second, fielding it from the throw from Perkins, but we do get the force at second, so that'll be the first out of the inning for the Dogs.
Pitch is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes now to Davis.
This is Johnson, actually, the left fielder. That was Davis.
Davis hit it toward third base.
He's over at first now.
Stretch of the pitch. Off balance swing and a miss.
What a pitch there by Graham.
Good looking.
He just has that wonky kind of sidearm delivery anyways, and so it's tough to deal with. But then when you locate it as well as he located that one.
1-1 pitch is popped straight up.
I literally might have that one.
Nope. It falls.
Matthews made a heck of a run at it. Just couldn't come up with it.
Well, I'll tell you what happened there. He didn't want to get chiggers in his pants.
That's right. You're right about that one.
Because he literally had to. He would have had to have sit on the backstop to do that. So he wants to not be uncomfortable on the way home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 gone in the inning.
Attack of the Chiggers.
Final hope for the Southeast Raiders is going to be number 11 as Johnson strikes out.
Now back to the top of the order in Hampton, the center fielder, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So this does not bode well for the Raiders.
Outside to him, ball 1 on the first pitch of the at-bat. 2 gone here in the bottom half of the fifth, a 16-0 lead for the Bulldogs. Well in control. Pitch on the way. Foul back, and it's 1-1. You know, I was thinking about the road to the playoffs the Dogs have, and it just goes on to see how vital it was to sweep Northwest Whitfield, and that really set us up for a chance to
host a
battle
against
game.
Central as well.
1-1 pitch, a called strike 2, and the Dogs are a strike away from taking taking 2 of the 3 in the series.
Because, you know, coming into that Central series, they knew how critical it was. Critical here as well.
1-2 pitch. That's going to be a fly ball to the left side. It's going to get down for a base hit as Peak had to let it drop in front. They'll throw over to second base, and it's a safe call over there. So Southeast not done just yet. That is I believe, the 4th or 5th hit for them.
Was that a cartoon show as walk-up music? I believe it was.
Hit towards shortstop. They'll feed on to second base, and the Bulldogs win in 5. The final score, Cedartown 16 and Southeast Whitfield Raiders 0. We'll come back after 60 seconds to wrap this up on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Make the right play. Go to Peach State Ford in Cedartown today.
Rush to Peach State Ford in Cedartown. Peach State Ford has a championship lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles. Peach State Ford is now open in your backyard.
Peach State Ford is proud to be part of your local community. Whether you're waiting for your vehicle to get serviced, picking up a part for your vehicle, or stopping by to check out a new vehicle for yourself, Peach State Ford offers a wide range of amenities to enhance your experience. Peach State Ford in Cedartown, 2076 Rockmart Highway, 770-748-3673. Livewire Surplus. Stop in today at 546 North Main Street. New items are arriving all the time. At Livewire, they have unbelievable deals on lawnmowers, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. But that's not all. How about your patio? Livewire has top-of-the-line grills, patio tables and chairs, fire pits, and so much more. All fresh off the truck, brand new, still packaged, and priced to sell. Livewire Surplus, 678-861-5021. Take your truck. You're going to need it to load up on the savings.
Cedartown High School baseball is on the Big AA.
16-0 is your final. A big win for the Dogs here on the road in a tough afternoon of baseball for the Southeast Whitfield Raiders. They lost back-to-back games here at home, 15-0 against Sonoraville and now 16-0 against the Dogs. Cedartown scoring 16 runs on 16 hits and 1 error. Southeast, no runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. Jay O'Neill would go 3 innings. He got the start for the Bulldogs. No runs, 1 hit, 3 walks. Will Graham would come in and pitch 2 innings. He would give up just 4 hits and record a single strikeout. Andrew, another big win for the Dogs. It's exactly what Cedartown needed to do looking forward as we get ready to try to battle for that second place spot in the region.
We talked about how this the schedule really favors Cedartown at the end of the season because you have this series at the very end. You look at teams like Northwest Whitfield and Heritage, who have probably the tougher parts of the region toward the end of their schedule. So I think the Bulldogs are winning the games they're supposed to win. Next week, though, it's going to be big. We start on Monday, a day off tomorrow. Then on Monday, senior night at home, our final regular season home game. Hoping it's not our final home game. Dogs will be hosting the Sonoraville Phoenix at CHS. And pretty much all but a must-win. The Dogs need to at least win the series, preferably sweep, because you don't want to rely on what somebody else is doing. If the Dogs can just win out, it doesn't matter what Northwest does, Cedartown will clinch that second spot and overtake Northwest Whitfield.
We will be big Heritage fans, though, because
Absolutely.
we would love for the Generals to put up a couple of wins against the Bruins to help our cause. But like you said, really just the Dogs just need to focus on winning out for the rest of the season and setting themselves up for that second spot and then to look ahead into the playoffs. 5:30 first pitch Monday, but the senior night festivities will begin around 5:10.
Just get there at 5 o'clock.
Exactly. Call it an even 5. Get you a barbecue sandwich or a cheeseburger or whatever dessert that
there will be some kind of gourmet thing there.
Absolutely.
To eat on Monday. So come on out to the ballpark on Monday and enjoy a great time. Real quick, let's go down the list of what the Dogs were able to do on offense. X Holiday, great day at the plate, 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs. Ace Allen, 2 for 3, 4 RBIs for him, 2 walks, 1 run scored. Perkins coming off the bench with a hit and a run scored.
And you can almost guarantee that every time that Everett Perkins is inserted to the lineup, he's at least going to be good for 1 hit. And here he is good for that hit again today.
Absolutely. Tony Ware, 1 for 4. Bobby Jones got his first varsity hit. It was an RBI double. He went 1 for 1. Samuel Formby went 2 for 2 with a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. Yarborough, 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI for him as well. Dalen Holiday went 0 for 3. Rye Ware went 0 for 1. Caleb Formby 1 for 1, a couple of runs scored, and 3 walks for Caleb Formby. Cole Dingler went 2 for 2 with a couple of runs scored, an RBI, and a walk. Brady Kirsch came in later and went 0 for 1. Gavin Allred went 2 for 3 at the plate. Dakota Matthews walked his only appearance. Jack Roper went 0 for 1 with 3 runs scored, a RBI and a walk, and also a hit batsman, which gave him the RBI. And Connor Peak went 0 for 1 with a run scored later on coming on off the bench. So a lot of guys got to see some playing time today, and the Dogs have got to be proud of the effort. And they took down the Southeast Raiders 16-0. And the final game of the series will be on Tuesday back here at Southeast Whitfield. 4 games next week. We mentioned the senior night game, and then Thursday the regular season wraps up on the road, a doubleheader at Sonoraville. And we'll have all 4 of those games here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network. Sam, final words from you.
Just a great afternoon for the Dogs, and glad to see things still kind of rolling Cedartown's way. Again, like you said, we got some big games coming up, a crucial series ahead against Sonoraville once again to wrap things up. But it has been just a great season so far, a good comeback after the Dogs struggled to start things off, going 0-8 to begin the season. But just great to see Cedartown continuing to improve and to keep these, see these guys keep their heads held high as we pick up another big win here at Southeast by a final score of 16-0. From Southeast High School here in Dalton, Georgia, for our good friend Tyrone back at the studio. He's Andrew Carter. I'm Sam Branch saying, as always, until next time, good afternoon, God bless, and go Dogs here on the Big AA.
W291 TS Cedar.